So my name's Sacejewia. I was born here in Wilson. I stayed here until I was about 8, and then my mom and my stepdad relocated to Virginia. But home has always been Wilson. So I graduated high school, came back down here for college, went to Rocky Mounts, North Carolina Wesleyan, and really wanted to get into law enforcement, but I decided, no, let's go medical field because that's what the family wanted me to do. So instead of pursuing my passion, I decided to pursue family's passion. And I got an undergrad degree in biomedical science. But of course, I did not want to do that, so I decided to go for law enforcement. So I went to BLET, which is the law enforcement academy that you go to before you become a police officer. I completed that in 2014, and I started my career with the Wilson Police Department in 2014. Loved every minute of it. I got to meet a lot of great people. I got to help out in my community. I was back home. Life came full circle for me. And then I got married, had kids, and then life changed a little bit. And I'm very service oriented. So I knew that whatever I was going to be doing, it had to be service oriented. So I found out about the North Carolina Board of Pharmacy. And basically what I do there is I go into pharmacies like your Walgreens, Thomas Drugs here in Wilson, and I inspect them. I inspect hospitals as well. And if there's any complaints or there's an error or anything like that, I go and investigate it as well. So that's what I'm doing now. I love to help people. It's just, if I'm not helping somebody, I'm not satisfied. So if I could have done anything differently, I wouldn't. I think the trajectory that I took, even though I wasn't following my passion at the beginning, it did set me up to still be service to people because I used some of my undergrad background in my current job at the Board of Pharmacy, which is medical related stuff. So I wouldn't change a thing about the way I did it because I was constantly following my passion once I decided that's what I wanted to do. So at the police department, I really loved the fact that I was able to mentor the children. So I actually had a group of girls at Forest Hills Middle School that I mentored. They were considered at risk. And so I actually mentored them from 6th grade all the way to 8th. And the best part about it was when they were in high school and I'd run into them at the grocery store or something like that, and they'd come up to me and they'd be like, I remember you. Do you remember me? Of course I remember you. How's school going? What are your grades like? And they always had good marks. Didn't have no suspensions, no anything like that. So it was nice to see the fruition of all the work that I put in. So that was amazing. I loved the recruiting because I also did the recruiting for the department. When you really care about your job, it's easy to sell it. And so I was very, very good at being able to recruit people. I was able to get us about 40 people in 18 to 26 months, somewhere up in there. So we did have a lot of great things happen while I was working there. So I was very excited about that. So while I loved law enforcement and it was a very intense passion of mine, I have so many other passions, and with law enforcement, of course, it's a little harder to pursue those just because, law enforcement life is unpredictable. We're always the first ones called. We're the first ones there. And sometimes you can't juggle all of it. So this current career of mine allows me to do that. It allows me to pursue more of my passions. One of my biggest passions is dismantling the school to prison pipeline. And having my career in law enforcement set me up perfect for that because I know the insides of the justice system as well as reaching out to the youth because I did a lot of that in law enforcement. And working here at the Board of Pharmacy also helps me with education because that's what I essentially do when I go into a facility. I'm educating the pharmacists and the technicians and the doctors about how things should be done and best practices. So I'm able to combine everything I've gotten into this great new passion of dismantling the school to prison pipeline. My one piece of advice that I'd give everyone is never stop pursuing your passion and be okay with it changing from time to time because you go through life and you have different experiences, and different experiences can be catalysts for change in different passions. So don't be afraid to say, I started this, I loved it, but now I want to do something different and my heart's somewhere else. Be okay with that and go for it. If anyone has a resume they want looked at, interview tips, anything like that, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help. You guys are the future, and I'm here to make sure your future is bright.